नमस्कार दोस्तों, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल एग्जाम इंश्योर। आज की इस वीडियो में हम IC-90 ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज मैनेजमेंट के मेमोरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन का सेट 3 कवर करेंगे। इस वीडियो में हम टोटल 50 मेमोरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करेंगे। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं हम वीडियो को। आइडेंटिफाई द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट रिगार्डिंग कैरियर डेवलपमेंट। तो कैरियर डेवलपमेंट के रिगार्डिंग करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट क्या होगा? प्रोग्राम डिजाइन फॉर द कैरियर डेवलपमेंट आर मोस्ट नेसेसरी फॉर रिटेंशन ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज। Program designed for the career development are usually applicable uniformly to all employees within the organization. Job rotation is considered an activity for achieving career development, both A and C and all of the above. So here correct answer is both A and C, means program designed for the career development are most necessary for the retention of employees, and also the job rotation is considered an activity for achieving the career development. Second question is, which of the following refers to the activity of identifying the number and type of people, skill and other human resources needed for an organization? Recruitment, long-range planning, employee selection, resource analysis and business plan. So here correct answer is resource analysis. Which of the following can assist in increasing the capacity of a knowledge worker in an organization? Experience, reward, seniority in hierarchy and learning. So here correct answer is only 1 and 4, means experience and learning can assist increasing the capacity of the knowledge worker in an organization. Which of the following is the most significantly represent the standard of right and wrong for an organization? किसी भी organization के लिए right और wrong क्या represent करता है? Regulations, practice, principles, rules and values. So here correct answer is the values. The essential component for the formal bureaucratic organization as described by Weber include no supervision, impersonality or selfishness. So the correct answer is impersonality. Which of the following is considered the most critical resource in an organization? किसी भी organization में most critical resource क्या होता है? Time, money, power, material और technology. So here correct answer is manpower. SWOT analysis is affected by both internal and external factors. Which of the following can be considered as an internal factor? Innovation in technology, second is research capability, and third is political changes. So a correct answer is research capability. So research capability can be considered as the internal factor. What does the term stereotype denote in the context of the communication? Distinctive, uniform, a special characteristic or generalization. So a correct answer is generalization. Which of the following are not considered a participative group-centered training program? Workshop, conference, seminars, syndicates, and lectures. So the correct answer is lectures are not considered a participative group-centered training program. Identify a desired attribute of an appraisal. Limited to the appraiser's view. Second option is distinctly critical. Third option is give methods to overcome the problems that are identified by appraisee. Fourth option is should be based on the latest events. Fifth option is should be judgmental. So here correct answer is attribute of an appraisal is the give methods to overcome the problems that are identified by the appraisee. Spot the indicator by which a dedicated style of the leadership is identified. Aggressive, not mixing easily, low interaction, gives minimal guidance, or cautious. So here correct answer is aggressive. Which of the following are among the 7 C's of the written communication? Clear, careless, and conciseness. So a correct answer is only conciseness is among the 7 C's of the written communication. According to the human resources concept, what does the placement mean? Recruitment in technical jobs, placing elderly persons in places involving abrupt changes in their jobs, employment of friend and relative, right person for the right job, and advancement of juniors with the higher responsibilities. So here placement means the right person for the right job. Who was the scientist associated with the Hawthorne studies? Barnard, Taylor, Mayo, Layer, MC Gregor. So a correct answer is Mayo. So Mayo is associated with the Hawthorne studies. People or employees are considered as which of the following as per HRM? Cost, threat, problem, resources, and production lines. So people or employees are considered as the resources as per the HRM. Identify the scenarios in which the decision making becomes an ethical dilemma. If the consideration for the decision making are based on the values, if the alternatives for the decision making are the database, if the choices available for the decision making can be evaluated on the economic consideration, fourth option is option B and C, and fifth option is all of these. So here correct answer is if the consideration for the decision making are based on the values, then this becomes the ethical dilemma. What will lack the equanimity may be lead to extremes of the panic and extreme of the anger or the extreme of the depression. So here all these three will lack the equanimity. The main resources in an organization are money, power, its people, raw material or goodwill. So a correct answer is for any organization the main resources will be its people. There should be a which of the following for the every activity? There should be a leader or there should be a response or there should be a purpose for every activity. So there should always be a purpose for every activity. Identify from the following the option which best refers to the change in the response to need which was felt as a result of awareness that the effectiveness is adversely affected. Creative response, reactive response, corrective response, proactive response or relative response. So a correct answer is reactive response. Not obeying orders and fighting by an employee in an organization is a problem of outside enjoyment, vigilance, on the job indiscipline, dishonesty, or attendance. So, this is the problem of on the job indiscipline. Identify from the following one of the method to carry out job evaluation. Assessment method, ranking method, difficulty level method, rating method, or knowledge and skill method. So, here correct answer is ranking method. Identify from the following the correct statement with respect to the transfers. Transfer are used as a part of career plan of an employee. Transfer always involves significant change in the emolument. Transfer always involves change in the status of employee. All of the above or only option A and C. So a correct answer is transfer are used as a part of career plan of an employee. Which of the following is an example of open system, organization, clock, and refrigerator? So a correct answer is organization is the example of open system. Read the following statement with respect to the term collective bargaining and choose the correct option. तो collective bargaining के लिए कौन सा ऑप्शन करेक्ट होगा? पहला ऑप्शन है collective bargaining provides unilateral power to the employee for negotiation. Second option is agreement reached through collective bargainings are put in the form of written contract. Third option is collective bargaining facilitates interfere of third-party agencies like government for support of negotiation. And all of the above options are correct and only option A and B are correct. So a correct answer is agreement reached through collective bargaining are put in the form of written contract are correct statement for the collective bargaining. Which of the following scenarios suspect conflict of interest? Posting comments about the weakness of the company where the individual is employed, offering paid services during the time of to the customer of the company, person who has provided the lowest quote is awarded for the work after tendering process is a close relative of the deciding authority. All of the and option A and C. So a correct answer is person who has provided the lowest quote is awarded the work after tendering process is a close relative of deciding authority. What are the objectives of the manpower development? Enable individuals to acquire or sharpen their capabilities. Second option is find alternative for the existing resources. Third option is reduce cost of ownership. So a correct answer is for the objective of manpower development, we have to enable individuals to acquire or sharpen their capabilities. Which of the following lays down the legal framework under which workers are allowed to form unions which may negotiate with the management for matters concerning the workers? Common Law Social Welfare Act, Indian Contract Act 1972, Workers' Compensation Act, and Industrial Relations Act 1949. So a correct answer is Industrial Relations Act 1945. QWL quality work life does not depend on which of the following future expectations, job characteristics, skill levels, individual, his needs and background, organizational factors. So here it does not depend on the future expectations. Through which of the following ways organization structures the participation of the subordinate? Informal meetings, one-to-one basis, or the management council. So here all these three are the organizational structures for the participation of the subordinate. What is the focus of Hawthorne studies of the management? So अभी हमने अर्लियर क्वेश्चन में देखा था कि हॉथरॉन स्टडीज किसने कौन रिलेटेड है इस स्टडी से, कौन सा साइंटिस्ट, तो इस स्टडी से मायो नाम का साइंटिस्ट रिलेटेड है। अब ये स्टडी किस पर फोकस करती है? एथिक्स इन द वर्कप्लेस, मोरालिटी इन द वर्कप्लेस, इंटरपर्सनल डायनामिक्स, ग्रुप नॉर्म्स और बिहेवियर इन द वर्कप्लेस। So it relates to the behavior in the workplace. Select the correct answer regarding why people follow a leader. People किसी लीडर को क्यों फॉलो करते हैं? Monetary benefit, threat or fear in the leader, trust and confidence in the leader, all of these and only option A and C. So here trust and confidence in the leader, that is why the people will follow a leader. Identify from the following the people who are generally considered as the best to conduct clinical counseling. Parents, managers, psychologists, religious leaders and all of the above. So a correct answer is psychologist. The following statement refers to which of the following as per the Fayol's administration theory. A person should receive instruction from only one superior. Unity of command, order, discipline, integrity or unity of direction. So a correct answer is unity of command. Identify the correct statement with respect to the characteristic of population classified as Generation Y. They embrace diversity faster than the Generation X. They are technically less savvy than the Generation X. They show a higher level of caution and predicting than their parents. All of the above and only option B and C. So a correct answer is they embrace diversity faster than the Generation X. Identify from the following the correct option with respect to the term linking pins in an organization. They act as a connector between the different teams in an organization. They act as a link between the organization and the consumers. They collect feedback from the customers for product and service improvement. All of the above and only option A and C. So here correct answer is they act as a connectors between the different team in an organization. So this is known as the linking pin. Which of the following means acceptance of one's position and trying to do one's best thereon without being over anxious about the consequences thereof on oneself, either as reward or as per punishment. Equanimity, assertiveness, contentment, other centeredness, and none of the above. So, a correct answer is contentment. From the among the method of the job evaluation, give below which are presents the least difficulty. Ranking method, factor comparison method, point method, and classification method, and none of the above. So, a correct answer is classification method. Which are the following is are considered as the resources in the management? Men, material, machine, all of the above or none of the above. So the correct answer is men, material, machine. So these all three considered as the resources in the management. Which research is carried out usually by the scientific and research institutions without any particular purpose in view? Pure research, applied research, judgment research, pivotal research, or none of the above. So the correct answer is pure research is carried out usually by scientific and research institutions without any particular purpose in view. Which of the following statement is true with regard to the motivation? Motivation is an external stimulus. Motivation is the internal impulse. Misdirected effort to motivate result in the collaborative relationship. All of the above or none of the above. So a correct answer is motivation is an internal impulse. Which of the following refers to the advancement of an employee to a higher post with more emolument, prestige, higher status, and a greater responsibilities? Recruitment, selection, transfer, promotion, and none of the above. So, a correct answer is promotion. An individual can reduce stress by which of the following ways? By practicing yoga, by pursuit of hobby, delegating of tasks, all of the above, or none of the above. So, a correct answer is all of the above. So, by means of all these three, by practicing of yoga or by pursuit of hobby, delegating the task, these three can reduce the stress. What is the first source of recruitment of an organization? किसी भी organization के लिए पहला source क्या होता है recruitment के लिए? Recruitment agency, advertisement, educational institute or employees within the organization, or none of the above. So a correct answer is employees within the organization. Which of the following is essential for senior levels to know what is happening at the operational levels and to enable them to exercise appropriate controls? Upward communication, downward communication, lateral communication, unilateral communication, and all of the above. So a correct answer is upward communication. Which of the following attempts to make a job more varied, thus removing the dullness associated with performing repetitive operations for the long? Reinforcement, rewards, empowerment, job enlargement, or none of the above. So a correct answer is job enlargement. Human beings are complex personalities and they require multifaceted development which includes physical, intellectual, psychological, all of the above and none of the above. So a correct answer is this includes all of the above. Which of the following option is not correct with regard to the ethics? Ethics deal with right and wrong. Ethics is a not matter of law. Ethics is not related to values. Ethics has validity in the context and none of the above. So here in the question they have asked not correct with regard to ethics. So ethics are not related to values is the wrong statement. Wrong statement. Next question is which of the following is an example of non-monetary reward? Increment, transport facility, residential telephone, and nomination for seminar, or none of the above. So here correct answer is nomination for the seminar. This is the non-monetary reward. And all these three are the monetary reward. On the four stages of learning, which one occurs when the changes during the conversion are formally internalized? Dissatisfaction, unphrasing, conversion, rephrasing, and none of the above. So rephrasing is the one of the stage of learning that changes during the conversion and are firmly internalized. So friend, with this we have completed the 50 memory based questions. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe to the channel ExamInsure. Thank you.